one of the prerequisites in order to be a pimp is to be a man. All right. Some of you was blessed to see Gorgeous Dre in American Pimp. And one of the greatest statements, if not the best statement that was ever made, in just so simple but profound, in all of those documentaries was, you got to be a man first. You got to be a man first. You cannot be a pimp and not be a man. Nobody was born a man. You were not born a man. A man, being a man, that's not something that you become once you become 18 or once you become 21 years old. All right? In order to be a man, you have to have the information, first of all. And a child, a baby, is when they come out that womb, they don't receive the information on how to be a man. You're not born a man. Therefore, if you are not born a man, you are not born a pimp. Why? Because one of the prerequisites in order to be a pimp is to be a man. You cannot be a pimp without being a man. Some of you think that the pimp game is whoever can tell the best lie. And I want to tell you that that is a lie. All right? You receive the devilation from some con artist representation that's professing to be a pimp. And you know what I mean? They gave you that devilation. And some of you are going to a destination called nowhere fast or a destination called incarceration simply because you got that devilation in your mind that the pimp game is whoever could tell the best lie. A man is not a liar. A man is not a liar. Let me say that again. A man is not a liar. All right? A man that is a pimp, he's not a liar. He's not trying to deceive or compel her to believe something that is false. A man is the truth. I told you guys this. A man is the truth from the beginning to the ninth inning. A man is the truth from the beginning to the ninth inning. A man is the truth from Genesis to Revelations. All right? A pimp is the truth. He's not a con artist. He's not coming to deceive you. He's not coming to lie to you. All right? That's what the boyfriend is. That's what the boyfriend and the manipulators that's basically just trying to be fornicators with the woman is going to do. The man is not going to lie to you. A man is not going to lie to you for a piece of pussy. A man is not going to lie to you for green papers with dead hypocrites on it. His manhood is greater than the pleasures that can come from a pussy, and his manhood is greater than any green papers with dead hypocrites on it. He is a man. He is being governed by principles that's bigger than life. So when you guys be saying shit like a pimp will sell his own ass, that's false. That's a big misconception. A pimp is not a homosexual. If he is a homosexual, he is not a pimp. If he's receiving money from a transsexual, he is not a pimp. All right? A pimp is not going to disrespect himself. Even though this title is this, I'm going to touch on some things within this. A pimp ain't going to sell his own ass. A pimp don't have no homosexual desires. A pimp don't got no desire to fuck with a transsexual. No matter how much money this transsexual has, the pimping is a man that is governed by principles and standards that is bigger than life. You cannot give him money to disrespect his manhood. There's no amount of money, if you had innumerable dollars, this man would not disrespect himself. He would not disrespect his manhood, principles, and standards just to have some money. A pimp will not do that. You have many who are allowing women to disrespect them. They're involved in a disrespectful situation. They getting Rolls Royces, they getting Benzes, they getting all type of shit. They got hella motherfucking jewelry. They got beautiful houses. They got beautiful furniture. But they're allowing this woman or women to disrespect them, and it's all for the cost of currency. A man of pride, a man with standards, a man that has principles bigger than life is not going to allow this. He's not going to allow the pleasures of pussy or the amount of money that basically can be produced from this pussy. He's not going to allow that to be greater than the standards and principles that he is governed by. Absolutely not. A pimp is not a con artist. I can't say it enough. A pimp is not a con artist. When you seen these documentaries, when you seen guys talking about you might have to do a little bit of lying, or, he got to be a manipulator. He got to find some woman, that shit that, husband Ken was saying in Pimps Up, Hoes Down. You got to be a manipulator. You got to find a woman with low self-esteem and low confidence and no education and broken homes. And she got to go through that. That is completely contrary to the truth. All right. A pimp does not think like that. A pimp is looking for a woman who's strong, who's intelligent and very confident, because that's what she's going to need in order to seduce and reduce these prestigious, educated men. These men who are millionaires and billionaires. In order to basically sit up there and seduce and reduce these men, this woman has to have a great mentality. She has to have intellectual capabilities that's greater than the average woman. You cannot just be a regular female and be a hoe, contrary to popular belief. You cannot just be the average typical nigga and be a pimp. You can receive money from prostitutes. You do not have to be a pimp to receive distributes from prostitutes. There are a lot of Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lord Stones, and they're getting paid like a motherfucker from strippers and prostitutes. So having a nice car or having jewelry or a nice house and clothes, this does not establish you as a pimp. Because a bitch will give a bankroll to a light pole. A bitch will hit a lick for a motherfucker that got a big dick. So we cannot sit up there and give information to this youth that once you supposed to listen to basically those who have a Rolls Royce, those who don't only have certain pieces of jewelry. And that was crazy because the person who made the statement, this person has never had a Rolls Royce. That's crazy. So with that being said, common sense would have said, well, I can't even listen to you because you don't have a Rolls Royce. I can't even listen to you say who I should listen to because you don't even have that. Common sense that ain't common. But, we have to, when we listen to people, when you reading these books and when you watching these films and things like that, pull your mind out. Pull the spirit of discernment out. Don't just take what is being said for face value. All right? Don't just sit up there and be feeble-minded. Listen. Don't just listen to what is being said. Listen to what is not being said. Because what's not being said is answering all your questions. All right? So, a lot of times when people saying these things, always know that every statement that is being made, it's an inspiration behind it. Some people, the inspiration is the love of the game. They love the game. They're tired of the youth basically sitting over there, you understand me, going to correctional facilities for 20 and 30 years and 50 years and 10 decades and shit like that, and they're tired of it. The love of the game is provoking them and compelling them to reach out to that young man that's, not representing this game correctly and take time out with him, to give him this game so he can represent this game in totality to the best of his ability. That's the love of the game within that man that's going to provoke him to do that. Only the love of this game. Let me tell you something. YouTube, I ain't received one YouTube check. When you guys was blessed to see God be a blessing to me by using me, a nobody, to give $10,000 to Dunbar Vocational High School, that was nothing but the goodness of God and the goodness of this game. That was it. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no goodness of my own. It wasn't no goodness of YouTube. I ain't never received one YouTube check. Now in the future, I might sit up there and do, but as of right now, I ain't never received a YouTube check. So when you see me doing the things that I do, this is off the goodness of God. This is off the goodness of the game. Somebody might say, how could you bring God in? Because let me tell you something. Nothing positive or negative can be done unless God allows it. God has to allow this to transpire. He has dominion over everything. He knew everything before it was going to transpire. He's omnipotent. He's omnihagios. You understand me? He knows everything. He's omnipresent. He's God. He knew everything. So everything, all of that, everything is working for the good. All right? You know what I mean? The riches, the treasures, you understand, the wicked. This is going to be a blessing for the upright. Everything is working for the good. All right? So I want to basically pull all that because I want to deal with the misconception as well. I haven't strayed away from the message, but yeah, pimps don't mess with transsexuals. Pimp is not a homosexual. A pimp is not a con artist. You know what I'm saying? A pimp is not a liar. A pimp is a man. He's a man of truth. All right? And he is not going to disrespect the truth of this game for the amount of money, no popularity, no prosperity. The game within him won't even allow him to do that. He's wrapped up, tied up, and entangled up in the truth and the spirit of this game where he can't even sit up there and do something like that. That's why when a woman comes with a deal and the spirit of compromisation is there, the pimper can't even get involved in that because he already has knowledge and wisdom of what that would evolve into, which is disrespecting his manhood, which is disrespecting his game. And the pimping don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the pimping don't sit up there. And let me say this too, because a lot of y'all always say this in the comment section. Sinful, I hear you saying this. I hear you doing this. But what if your daughter decided to be a hoe? What if your daughter decided to be somebody hoe and bring somebody all of the money? Would you feel hurt? Would you want to do this? Let me say this to you. I don't think that any pimp, dope dealer, gangbanger, or whatever would want their children to repeat their history. If anything, you want your children to make history, not repeat your history. So, in the future, my offsprings, my blessings, I would want them to make history, not repeat history. I don't want my daughter or my son to participate in anything that I've done. I want them to be greater than me. I want my daughter and my son to be greater than me. But let me tell you something. If somebody gave me a call and said, Sin, your daughter is she down and about it right now, on Sunset. It's a young nigga, man, and he got your daughter down like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, because of the truth of this game and the love of this game that is within me, I'm not going to kill that young man. And I could be a pastor at this time. I could be a great bishop at this time. But because of the truth of this game is going to be forever within me, regardless of what I ever do, you know what I'm saying? Only thing that I would want to do is I would want to meet the young man, not to cause bodily or physically, physical harm to him or to have him killed or kill him myself. I would want to meet him because even, by me being a square, I ain't involved in the lifestyle, but I know the lifestyle. But even as a square, you know what I'm saying? Once I meet the young man, by me having knowledge of what the game is and what it takes to be a pimp, I want to know if it's just a gang banger or a stranger that's just reaping the benefits of my daughter, basically, being in love or having infatuation with somebody that's fraudulent, or is she really with somebody that's professing and possessing some pimping? Because if he's really a pimp, I know that he's a man. I know that he's a man because you got to be a man in order to be a pimp. I don't know what you guys been taught in these little documentaries and things like that, and these little books and things like that. But a pimp is not a liar. A pimp is a man, irregardless of whether she gonna come back in the door with my desire or whether or not she gonna go up there and expire and give somebody else the desire tonight. You know what I'm saying? I am what I am. I'm a pimp. That's a pimp's mentality. You know what I'm saying? And it's very few that have that mentality. So what that tell you? So, with that being said, going back to the mass, nobody is born with the game. There's going to be certain situations that's going to occur, and you have to mentally respond like a man. You can't emotionally react like a woman. You're not going to be born with that. You know what I mean? A child, his first teacher is his mother. Your mother is the embodiment of emotionalism. Your mother is going to do things and say things, out of love and out of affection. But, sometimes the love of a mother can be overwhelming, at times. And because of the love of a mother, your mother will pacify you sometime instead of correct you. So you're going to have to go through adversity in these streets. You're going to have to sit up there and go through experiences so you can evolve into the man that you was called to be. But you're not going to receive this at birth. When the game come in through experience or somebody giving us, or some reputable, authentic representation giving you the information, once you receive that mentally and you conform to it, you are being born again. You are being born again mentally. You are being born again spiritually. You are being born again in totality. All right? You have to mentally conform. It's just like somebody who's been gang banging all of their life. All they know is to emotionally react. When they get into a situation that they don't like, all they know is to beat a motherfucker ass if I feel offended or disrespected. First of all, most gangbangers come from single parent homes. So if my mother is my only teacher, any situation that I don't like, or if you say something to offend me or disrespect me, I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. You know what I mean? That's the mentality of a gangbanger. You representing something that is basically the opposition, of my organization or the nation, or basically the gang that I'm professing to be in, and so with that being said, I got to take you out. That's a gangbanger's mentality. So when you leave that lifestyle and you are ready to perform and conform to the truth of this game, you have to mentally be born again. But your first birth, you are not born a pimp. You're born as a child. You're born as a male. You're not born a man. You're not born a pimp. That's something that you have to earn. And that's why many of you are not a pimp, because you never earned the title of a man. All right? That's another message, though. But I'm going to give you a little story. I ain't going to talk your head off. But, as I said one time in a live video, and it breaks me up and hurts me. Some of y'all already know the situation that I'm speaking about. But there was a young man that was presiding. He's 3 deep. He was doing good. Had his vehicles, having clothes, on Facebook, on Instagram. And the older P's was accepting him. They was accepting him. He wasn't even, of age yet. He wasn't a man. And, some of the P's, didn't agree with that. Some of y'all already know what I'm talking about. It was all of us. We was all in a group. And majority said, he is a pimp. I seen him down. He been mashing. He been doing this, and it's in him, man. It's in him. I could just see it, man. He knocking bitches left and right. He got this vehicle. He done went and got this. He done went and did that, But because of my knowledge of the Word of God, because of my knowledge and experiences in life, because of my love for the youth, I knew that it wasn't the appointed time for this young man to participate in the lifestyle. He was really just trying to repeat the steps of his father, like many of you. Many of you have uncles, cousins, and fathers, and you're infatuated with the lifestyle. You look at the pictures and videos of your father, your uncle, and cousin, and you want to repeat that history because you want to be the man. You see the attention and the love that your family members receive, and you want that. And I understand that, quite naturally so. But I want to tell you that you're going to have to go through some things as a man, as a person, you understand me, of life, in this life, before you graduate to just calling yourself a pimp. Being a pimp is not okay, I'm a pimp today. It's not like that. Okay, I got a bitch. Okay, I'm a pimp. It's not like that. All right? You cannot be a pimp without the information. You cannot be a pimp without suffering. Because I wasn't really amazed. I like the fact that he was having things. I like the fact that he was having money and knocking bitches and shit like that. But at the same particular time, man, adversity is a necessity, man. You got to go through some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And, when a person give me this, their autobiography, and there's no difficulties within it, I smell falsehood. I smell the perfume of falsehood, somebody lying. Because see, I know what this game consists of. And when you standing on the truth of this game, when you a motherfucking man, that woman is gonna challenge you. She gonna do some things to piss you the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have this game, if you don't have the knowledge, if you have not been taught, or basically, you understand me, if you haven't went through experiences where you fucked up and learned from the experiences that you fucked up, hey man, you pretty much predestined, you know what I mean, to lose. Because you wasn't born to win in the game, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? The enemy is against you. The laws are against you. The police are against you. Some of y'all got bras that's walking in and out of the door right now. They're against you. Some of you are sleeping with the enemy. There's going to be, listen, man, if you are not a man, the pimp game is not a lifestyle to be involved in. Leave that shit alone. You got people that's going to hate on you. You got people that's going to shake your hand and try to charm and disarm you. You have to be sharp at all times. You can't allow yourself, you understand me, as I like to say, be Carl Thomas to P. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're going to have a long road, man. You know what I mean? The nigga that you riding in the car with right now, that you bumping your head to music and chopping peas with in the car, that's the same nigga that'll sit up there and tell the bitch all type of shit, you know, about you just to sit up there and have the bitch. Because a lot of people been taught that, you know, that's pretty much how you get out. You know what I'm saying? That it ain't no friends in the pimp game. And to a certain extent, that's true. But that don't mean that you got to have a character that's deceitful when your partner go to the bathroom. You getting at the bitch while your partner at the bathroom. You sitting over there while you in the bathroom. You writing your number on the toilet paper, hoping that the bitch will see. You know what I'm saying? While your partner is asleep, you on the blade sweating your partner's bitch. You know, I ain't talking about, you know, just a regular associate. I'm talking about a nigga that you really going cross country with every motherfucking day. Y'all done been through it. You know what I mean? Y'all had to go through it to get to it. I'm talking about that. And, you know what I mean? To do an individual like that, hell no. Listen, man, let me just say this. I'm going to get right back. If the game bless you to have a pimp partner that's loyal, you know what I mean? Somebody, you know what I mean, with character. Somebody that'll give you their last dollar to bail you out. Somebody that if it was 20 Shaquille O'Neals and it was y'all outside fighting, he ain't going to leave you. He going to take that beat down with you. You know what I'm saying? You do not sit up there and jeopardize that over no bitch. There are some people in the game that I love so much, I would never jeopardize or sit up there and lose my friendship, you know what I mean, and the brotherhood that we have with one another over the money that comes from a bitch. I just couldn't do it. But most of y'all have been taught that was, you know, that's pimping in your eyes. That's not, you know, no. And then I have to realize some of y'all have been born in the game. It's just that you was born retarded, but you was still born though. You have a mental retardation. Like I said, you believe that a pimp is a liar. You believe he's a con artist. You believe that he's a manipulator. I'm telling you that the pimping is the truth. I'm telling you, young woman, that the pimping ain't gonna lie to you. So when you tell a pimp, when you ask a pimp, is there gonna be other women? Are you gonna have sex with other women? He gonna tell you, hell yeah. You know, if you ask a pimp, you know, is it a possibility of me going to jail? He gonna tell you, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Is it a possibility that I might get raped or robbed? He gonna tell you, hell motherfucking yeah. You know why? Because he's the truth. And he can't lie. It may not be what she wants to hear, but at the same particular time, it's the irrefutable truth. Stop lying to these women, man, and saying that you a pimp. You know, pimp ain't no liar. You know, pimp is a man. A man is the truth. So ladies, if you got a man, you know what I mean, he constantly lying and he lying about, I mean, if you got a male that's constantly lying about everything, you know, and anything, I'm here to tell you that he's not a man. See, a lot of you have a negative attitude towards the pimping and towards men. And the truth of the matter is, you ain't ever even been blessed to even meet a pimp. You ain't even been blessed to even have an encounter with a man. Some of you are judging the whole population of men simply because of your poor experience and bad experiences with, you understand me, the male representation. You've been with a whole bunch of males professing to be men. Some of you women have bad attitudes, with a multitude of pimps, and you never even met one pimp. You never even gave an opportunity for a man to basically be a pimp to you. You know what I mean? You've been messing with a lot of cute and attractive males that told you some beautiful lies. You know what I mean? To get between your thighs and the money that's coming from it. That's what you fucked with, but you never fucked with no pimp. Because if you had fucked with a pimp, you would have known basically the truth of basically how it was going to start from the beginning, the middle, and the end. Because that's what the pimping do. You know what I mean? You're not going to be hoodwinked. You're not going to be bamboozled. You're not going to be lied to. You know what I mean? Who are you for the pimper to even take time out of his existence to say one lying sentence to? So, like I said, there's many misconceptions about the game. Somebody said, pimp sent his own daughter. A pimp have sex with his own daughter. A pimp sent his mother. And I'm telling you that this is absolutely contrary to the truth. A pimp has standards, and he is governed by principles. Some of these pimps, I know some pimps that have more character and class and intelligence than a lot of these ministers and pastors that you guys respect in the outside world. I'm talking about men of class. I'm talking about the pimping. When I make these certain statements, instantly a lot of you guys dislike it, and you get in the comment section, and you only basically are commenting, and you're saying something contrary to what I'm saying because you're not looking at what I'm saying from a broader perspective. You're only looking at it from autobiographical, experience, autobiographical perspective. Because of the situations that you have went through being lied to, or maybe a guy hurt your sister, or maybe, you got raped out there, and when you called him and told him you were raped, he laughed at you, or told you, bitch, shut the fuck up and get back to work, you stupid hoe, and just to be all the way 100 with you, you've been taught that pimps don't love women. A lot of y'all been taught that pimps, hate women. And I want to tell you that this is totally contrary to the truth. A pimp is a man that possesses love for women, especially women who are hoes. Pimp love hoes. You know what I mean? So, a child, when he come out his mother's womb, a child does not come out with professing and possessing love for the game. A child does not come out his mother's womb with professing and possessing respect and loyalty, for the game. A child don't come out the womb professing and possessing love for a hoe. You know what I mean? A pimp do that. Men do that, but not a child. That's not, you wasn't born with the desire to love a hoe. You wasn't born with the desire to respect and love this game. That's not what you were born with. Due to certain experiences later on, that transpired in your life, you was compelled, after watching somebody who was actively pimping, you was motivated to pimp. After hearing conversations from different representation, when they began to speak about the great things that they were doing in different locations and how these locations was paying the shit out of them because of the impeccable information that they was giving these women to seduce and reduce the world, you felt compelled to be the pimping. When you seen that pimp, sitting over there having conversations with women and different people who have master's degrees, from prestigious universities, from Ivy League schools and things, and you saw the pimping sitting over there spanking their motherfucking ass, you was like, damn, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? You wanted to be a pimp. When you seen the pimping, drive up to that parking lot, or drive up, to the house, his brand new house, with that lack or that Fleetwood or that new big body Benz, that he got the bitch pregnant with this game and she gave motherfucking birth, to that S550 Benz. You wanted to sit up there and be a motherfucking pimp. You know what I'm saying? That's some of y'all seen that. You was working a job. You was just over broke at the time, and you saw the pimping basically coming in the mall, buying whatever he want. You saw his women buying whatever they want. And from that, you began to build a desire to want to know what the lifestyle was all about. You was in poverty. You had necessities, you know what I'm saying, that you wanted to sit up there and have fulfilled. And that job that you had or that little hustle that you had, it just wasn't good enough. And a lot of you got compelled from that. But you didn't have that when you was born. You wasn't born with that desire. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't born with the knowledge on how to mentally respond to situations instead of emotionally react to them. Because when a child come out the womb, a child is instantly crying. Pimp ain't crying because the pimp has knowledge enough to know that ain't no need of crying when it's raining, nigga. But anyway, man, don't want to talk y'all head off. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Go to Instagram, SIN, 2_ FUL, Facebook, SIN, spacebar, FUL, GILMORE, also PHILLIP, GILMORE. That's my government, that's my pavement. If you want to get into a development, you know what I mean, with me, you can reach me that, man. You know what I mean, we can get to a whole other demonstration and have a conversation, you know, later on. Ladies, you know, get at me on Snapchat, SINFULTHEP, and let me know that you come from YouTube. You can't be a handsome motherfucker, so you know what I'm saying, if you look like Buster Douglas, you know what I'm saying, if you look at a motherfucking fool, bitch, you know you look like Reggie Theus, you know what I mean, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying, this is only for the attractive women, you know what I'm saying, that want to sit up there and talk to sin and let me know what they doing on a daily basis from pretty faces. You know what I mean, y'all be blessed, man. You know what I mean, what's to come is definitely better than what's been. Stay encouraged. One.